Look at the outside of this man. Look at his physical appearance. Look into this man's heart. Look into his soul. Now look more deeply.
I feel this emptiness inside me every time I look into the mirror. The impulse I want to do is just punch that mirror because I can see my fucking parents in the background just staring at me and doing nothing as I've gone through this my entire fucking life. And I want to scream, what the fuck is your problem? Where were you? Why did you leave me here?
Conversion therapy is a set of dangerous and totally discredited practices that attempt to change the sexual orientation or gender identity of a person. They are often practiced by licensed mental health professionals, also sometimes unlicensed counselors, religious leaders, sometimes just in church basements. And they most often target kids under 18. And these people give them what they claim is a solution. What it actually does is it supports an industry that is profiting off of the harm and sometimes death of kids. And to one degree or another, conversion therapy is happening in every state in the country.
What is your greatest fear this weekend?
Of letting people down, and myself.
What is your greatest fear this weekend?
My greatest fear, just not being present and not being here, doing what God wants me to do.
What is your greatest fear this weekend?
My greatest fear is that I will leave without having touched someone else's life.
What is your greatest fear this weekend?
My greatest fear this weekend is letting you down.
Thank you. See the next man.
Everyone is heterosexual. The idea that some people are naturally homosexual or naturally gay is just a social construct. So when you have an individual who has same-sex attraction, we see it as something went wrong developmentally. And we try to resolve the issue and put them back on the path toward their natural heterosexuality. That's the philosophy of it. My name is Joseph Nicolosi. I'm a clinical psychologist, a licensed clinical psychologist, and I'm the founder of reparative therapy. The concepts and principles of reparative therapy is something I have developed over 30 years and 4 books and many, many articles. Journey into Manhood came into existence based upon the reparative therapy model. So the basic principles of reparative therapy were taken and turned into a weekend experience.
Is that one poster?
No, there's 4.
Yeah.
There's 8 altogether.
What did last year?
I think you probably got it.
I'll do it right now. Oh, okay. I'll do it too.
We'll do something else.
So he's over.
No, the guys hopefully will get back.
Basically, we have 4 sets of 8, so we got to do the windows in the.
We're doing a 32-man circle so that we have the appropriate size space to work with for our rehearsals. So we need more here. We got 6, we need 8.
Our organization, People Can Change, is there for the man who voluntarily wants to experience some diminishment in his unwanted same-sex attraction. And Journey into Manhood is a weekend program that we offer to help build that understanding and that opportunity for men who want to choose that path. We have no interest in telling people who are happy being gay that they should change or that there's anything wrong with them or whatever. That's not our mission. That's not what we believe. But we do believe that men who are uncomfortable with their homosexuality should have opportunities to understand it and try to diminish it to the extent that that's possible for them.
Now, this is a rehearsal. Now we're going to start off working through the kinks of the process itself.
Thank you so much, men, for your willing to serve. I'd like all of you to put your hands in your lap. Put your feet flat on the floor. Feel the power of the earth coming up into your body. Close your eyes. Take a moment to breathe. Breathe in your nose and out your mouth.
Yeah, the staff wear a pouch of magic seeds, so it represents Jack's, the seeds that were planted in the Jack story, Jack and the Beanstalk, and the potential for creativity and growth and empowerment that the seeds represent. So once the journeyers go through the weekend, they receive this as a token of their experience. And interestingly, as an aside, in the Jack and the Giant Slayer movie, I was pleased to see that Jack carries his magic seeds around his neck in a little pouch, which was 10 years or more after we started doing it. It's interesting.
Music cue. Good. Stop. Go back to the beginning. Music cue. Perfect. Okay. Go.
The story of Jack and the amazing Beanstalk.
Yeah, we use a fairy tale, a myth, the Jack and the Beanstalk story, as a kind of a metaphor for every boy's growth into manhood.
Oh, and I'll give you these seeds.
We borrowed some of the interpretation of it from Michael Gurian's book, The Wonder of Boys, as he talks about and uses it as a model of how this boy, Jack, is estranged from his mother a little bit as he goes off and experiences his masculinity.
Look at it, a phallic symbol.
So the Beanstalk is a big penis?
He gets challenged and faces
Biggest, baddest, meanest.
a giant, which represents his shadow, and that he finds gold, which represents the gold in him.
Golden eggs.
Mythicists call it a hero's journey. So every boy's growth into manhood in some ways is a hero's journey as he battles his shadows and embraces his gold.
Next is Facing the Shadow, B9, Shadow Guide.
Some of the staff, we break them into specific roles to help to bring out different aspects of a man, roles that help men sort of look in the mirror at their own life and understand themselves in relationship to the world of masculinity.
Okay, so see yourself as Jack. Go ahead, start taking.
See yourself as Jack, running from the giant, running from the shadow. Imagine it pushing through the walls, through your wall of fear and shame.
So I did my first journey into manhood weekend back in 2007. It's probably the most impactful weekend I've ever went on in my entire life. I was never what our society calls gay or homosexual or whatever label we put on it. I am simply a man. If anything, I would always consider myself a heterosexual man with a lot of issues.
Let's start with Jetty, since he knows this process. So you guys watch Jetty as he models this.
Do you want me to do it like I'm going to do it?
Uh-huh.
I feel anger! And I feel this emptiness inside me every time I look into the mirror. The impulse I want to do is just punch that mirror because I can see my fucking parents in the background just staring at me and doing nothing as I've gone through this my entire fucking life. And I want to scream, what the fuck is your problem? Where were you? Why did you leave me here? The goal of the weekend, Journey into Manhood, is to find where on that journey a step was taken off so that you can find your way back on. to it. I felt so empty when I tried to live the lifestyle. It didn't feel right. I wanted to be a husband. I wanted to be a father. And I wanted to be true to that. And I wanted to be true to God. For me personally, what was missing was a father figure. Someone's going to be standing out there.
Really? Okay.
Someone's going to be standing out there. And then as soon as we get big enough groups, the camp will take them up here.
Really? And you've got this all set up?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Rich actually staffed my weekends, and that was my first time meeting him. And I look up to him very much because he started this organization that's helped over 2,000 men. And I hold him very highly in my mind. I have a fear that I'm not going to become like him someday, and that's my goal. You know, it's the same thing as when I see a father. You know, I want to be a father someday so badly, and I fear that that's not going to happen. It's the same type of thing.
Like as if your body was a sandbag and the stresses are like sand flowing out your fingers and your toes. Allow yourself to see this and to feel it. 31 years ago, I almost killed myself over my same-sex attractions. So everything that happened in my life prior to that, sexual abuse, physical abuse, being bullied to half to death, living in fear every day of my life, I realized what I was facing. I put a name to it, and I probably queer and homo. I said, oh, you really are a queer, you really are a homo. But I made the decision then that that wasn't how I wanted to live. I wanted a wife, I wanted kids, I wanted a normal life, and I set out to go make it happen.
One of the things we deal with a lot here is individual trauma that may have existed, from bullying to more overt acts of sexual molestation or that kinds of thing. There's certainly a higher percentage of men dealing with unwanted same-sex attraction who've been sexually molested. That seems clear.
Today, I have a job I love. I have people I love that I work with. I have a church I love. I just love every minute of life, and I feel free, completely free to be the man that I want to be and the man that I believe God created me to be.
There are many associated features of living a gay identity that is problematic.
See the tender rage at which homosexuals prefer their conquests. Lesbians, sadists, masochists, and other sex deviants.
First of all, we go back to the fundamentals. We are physically, anatomically designed for the opposite sex. When you look at gay sex, very simply, the parts don't fit. Their relationships are more short-term. There's more depression, there's more anxiety, there's more self-defeating, self-destructive behaviors, alcohol abuse. Gay men smoke cigarettes more than straight men, as a small example.
There's a segment of the gay world that is very much into one-night stands and, you know, anonymous hookups and that kind of thing, and that's easy to find and easy to fall into.
Group sex, anonymous sex.
Pretty soon they've got, you know, a new partner, and then this partner, then that partner, then they've had 100, then they've had 200, and that's typical of the gay community.
Many people who experiment in the gay world say, I don't want this. I want one wife, picket fence, 2.5 kids, period. And that's their right.
Do you think that you can live like as a devout Christian, Catholic, and be gay?
No. Can't be. It's incompatible. You cannot be Christian and gay. You can't. You can be a homosexual and Christian, but you can't be gay and Christian.
There is no question anymore. Of course you can be gay and you can be a Christian, of course. And if anybody really thinks through what their theology is about their faith, that answer is easy to come to. I'm John Smid, and I worked for 22 years on staff at Love in Action International. I was the executive director from 1990 through 2008. Love in Action was a ministry that was motivated to help people leave behind their homosexual behavior. We attempted all through the years to help people find that freedom in their life. Today, I am very offended at the concept of change therapies for homosexuality, because the message that someone who is gay has something intrinsically wrong with them is a shame-producing, negative message that hits at the core of a human life. And I'm offended that that message is still in any way communicated.
I don't feel guilt for having been a part of reparative therapy, and the reason for that is not because I don't feel bad about the message that we put out, but we were on a journey, and you have to put it in the cultural context at the time. There was a huge cultural war between the church and the LGBT community, and we were caught in that just like everybody else. So being involved in the church community the way that it was, we thought that this was the right thing to do. We were wrong.
I am a religious man, I'm a Christian man, and so that has certainly informed some of my lifestyle choices and values. And almost all of the men who come to us are religious.
Men, at the sound of the drum beat, take one step to your left. Look at the outside of this man. Look at his physical appearance. Look into this man's heart. Look into his soul. Now look more deeply.
I know that I didn't choose to have the feelings I had, but I think that how I react to that or how I respond to that is still, that's where I can make a choice about that. And so sexual acting out and things like that wasn't really compatible with my values. It kind of came to the point where I just wanted to see what other alternatives there were. I started to come back into my Catholic faith as well about that time. Ooh. A bee.
What, a bee?
Yeah. After coming into this and finding a lot of healing, and I think even this weekend, even though it's not a religious weekend, there's a real emphasis on surrendering to a higher power, and that started leading me, in my life back to the church and back to where I found the most peace.
So groups like Journey into Manhood or Love in Action or any kind of group that tries to change the sexual orientation or gender identity of people from what's natural for them, I find to be very damaging.
Do you now believe that it's possible to change your sexual orientation?
No, I don't. There's a lot of history of people coming out after they've, created these organizations, these ex-gay organizations or reparative therapy movements, to say that, in fact, it wasn't helpful. Exodus International was the largest ex-gay organization for over 30 years, and their leader of over 10 years, finally at the end of it, came out to say that 99+% of people that he knew, including himself, never actually changed their internal felt sense of their attractions towards other people.
And I know that there are people who have taken their life because they felt so ashamed of who they are, felt like God couldn't love them as they are, and that's something that will haunt me until the day I die.
It wasn't until I left the ex-gay movement that I actually heard the damage, and I'm grieved that I didn't hear it before. The collateral damage, I think, is something we've not been willing to listen to.
We're here today to talk about conversion therapy. There's a lot of different names for this topic. There's a lot of different perspectives on this topic.
It is really hard for me to be in the same room sometimes with people who led the programs, currently or in the past, because I know that my friends lost their lives because of the pain that they endured at the hands of these men. I am a recent graduate of MIT, just did 2 graduate degrees in nuclear engineering and technology policy. I now work for a few different think tanks there in Washington, D.C., Third Way, and the Bipartisan Policy Center, working on educating Congress on advanced nuclear reactor physics, which is pretty much awesome. It's a great job. I also serve as the co-chair for the Born Perfect campaign to end conversion therapy. So this is my outlet to make the world a little bit better place in the non-nuclear realm, I guess is the best way of putting it.
I'm gonna give you some facts. That's what I do. I'm a lawyer, I work in facts.
What we are doing is we are going around the country trying to pass laws that protect kids under 18 from having conversion therapy practiced on them by licensed mental health professionals.
Good afternoon. I'm here to request your help in ending conversion therapy.
So we recently went to Geneva, Switzerland to talk to the United Nations Committee Against Torture about the practice of conversion therapy in the United States. And Sam Britton, one of our incredible survivors who we work with a lot, testified before that committee. Now these are folks who have spent their lives talking about torture. And by the end of his testimony, there were very few dry eyes in the house.
Then the physical abuse began. He tied down my hands and placed ice on them while showing me erotic pictures of men. He wrapped my hands in hot coils, stuck needles in my fingers, and shocked me with electricity. Through all of this, I remained gay, but became suicidal. I found that forgiveness for me is something really, really important. It's a way for me to get past all that pain. I shed that love back toward those Nicolosis and Alan Chambers, hoping that they were doing it out of love. And I just need to make my message and my voice loud enough to help them understand that it's not helping. I learned to lie, and through that survived, but many aren't so lucky.
No, it was a neighbor that sexually abused me over a period of about 2 years. Started when I was 10 and ended when I was 12. And then we moved to a new place, and I went to my first scout camp, and I was physically and sexually abused at the scout camp. So I have a rather significant history of being abused.
As I look back upon the years I spent at Love in Action, it was a constant pursuit of something that I hoped would occur that never did. Because for me, I attached my homosexuality to my childhood brokenness. When I finally separated the issues and said, I'm gay, and that's okay, but yes, I have a wounded childhood, I finally saw how much work I had done in healing that childhood. But I couldn't see that before because I was still gay, and I still believed that being gay was a result of the broken part. And I feel sad that there are so many other people today who don't separate that. That they still think they're sick and broken because they're gay.
I was estranged from my father for 5 years, from age 19 to 24. And I stopped talking to him out of my resentment towards him for putting me through conversion therapy. I thought he hated me, thought he never loved me. I thought he just was afraid of having a gay son. And I blamed him for everything. Because it was my father's fears that drove him to put me into conversion therapy. All parents want to know two things. They know they're going to leave this world with their children behind. And they want to know that their children are going to be taken care of and loved for. And parents will do anything they can to make that happen. That's how most minors end up in conversion therapy. It's the fears of the parents of what will happen to their child. It's very important that the government acknowledges the harm that's being done to minors.
That's really annoying. Who was calling us? Okay, just unplug that thing.
Senator Brad Hoylman is the only openly gay New York State senator right now. He's awesome. He's sponsored the conversion therapy ban that's been introduced to New York State.
I think it's an adult's choice to seek out conversion therapy. Everyone should be able to pursue happiness for their lives as they see fit. But I wouldn't want a parent to impose it on a child who may have feelings of suicide, who is already grappling with their identity, and who, as a state and as a society, we look to protect. So we want to ban that practice in New York by licensed therapists on minors. just as California has and just as New Jersey has.
For the children of New Jersey to be completely protected, we need our bordering states to follow our lead. I hope that once you accomplish a ban for New York, we can work together.
If you weren't in the state of California, can you talk about how you would be able to work with minors?
No, it's not about working with minors. I can work with minors. It's not at all. I mean, we don't have any law restrictions here.
Well, in the state of California, Senate Bill 1172 was created, and basically it is now law in the state of California that no licensed clinician can provide reparative therapy on minors.
There is a law in California, but it doesn't affect us because the law says you cannot try to change sexual orientation. Well, we don't try to change sexual orientation.
You know, they may do some wordsmithing and not say it's reparative therapy.
The only three tools that we have is asking questions. Why? 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 Giving interpretation, which the client can accept or not accept. And number three, education. We give them information. So if there's going to be a law that says, oh, we cannot try to change, well, we cannot try to change. How can we possibly change anybody? So it's a law that we don't have to be concerned about, really.
Reparative therapists who continue to treat minors in the state of California and New Jersey are in a really perilous position. So for them to continue to do so is putting their license in jeopardy, besides being incredibly harmful to the children who are seeking service from them.
But I've told myself that if I just give it enough time, those past hurts of my life will just all go away. The fear, the anger, the sadness, they'll weaken and die eventually. If I could just keep them buried long enough, but they don't die. Perhaps only for a moment, but I open myself up to letting down these walls. And there underneath it all, I find my core emotions. Through an act of conscious surrender, I release my attachment to lust.
For me, living happy meant that I needed to live true to myself. And the fastest way to set me off is to have somebody that thinks that I'm not living the way they want me to, when they tell me, well, you need to be true to yourself. Who do they think they are defining for me what being true to myself is?
This is our journey. We get to choose how to respond to same-sex attraction. We get to choose what to call ourselves and what to identify and how to live our lives. And I respect the right of gays to do that as well, but don't take it away from us.
I experience my authentic anger.
I feel angry!
I hear my anger. I feel my anger. I honor it.
It felt like what I was really needing was a sense of community with other men, a sense of reassurance of who I was as a man, and I just wasn't getting that in terms of those types of relationships I was pursuing.
It took 17 years for me to find this organization. I feel like I'm in a better place now than I was 4 years ago when I went through this weekend to become a father and to become that role model that my children will need that I didn't get when I was growing up.
I know for me, if the gay community had offered what I thought it had to offer, a sense of brotherhood and acceptance and community, that I probably would have stayed in it and gone into it fully. But I didn't find that. I found that in the People Can Change, or built that in the People Can Change community, which I founded. It's very loving and accepting.
I feel joy. All right, then the three of you come in closer because our core emotions are never far away, and you just sort of put your hands out like this.
The people who are still doing this now, I believe for the most part have a good heart, just as we did. I think they have gone over the top at this point.
And they're using their good hearts to promote change, and it's a false promise.
It's really not therapy. It's quackery, it's harmful, and it damages youth.
We go to therapy to improve ourselves, to make our lives better. But the truth of the matter is that being born gay or straight is innate. And there's certainly nothing wrong with it and nothing that needs to be fixed.
Once parents who love their kids know what they are risking by putting them through conversion therapy, conversion therapists don't have a business they can run. That's what's gonna happen. That's how we're gonna win.
Reparative therapy, conversion therapy is a conversation that we have to have. And you're not going to change someone with facts and statistics by having people who were in reparative therapy have come through this at some level. These are the ones that need to come out and share their stories.
Hi, my name is Ryan Kendall.
Hi, my name is April Prentice.
My name is Christian Shizzle.
I was sent to conversion therapy from the ages of about 14 to 16.
I thought, oh my gosh, I have to get help. I cannot be gay and Christian. Those two things were mutually exclusive to me.
And having my church tell my family and tell everybody around me that who I was wrong.
God was disgusted with who I was and that I needed to change who I was to be acceptable.
One practice I engaged in to try to change my sexuality was a deliverance, otherwise known as an exorcism, in order to remove the demon of perversion.
Conversion therapy is a crock of shit. This is nothing but pseudoscience. It has no basis in reality. It has no basis in fact.
It is so subtle and so insidious in some places that you don't even recognize that you've been damaged from it.
It's created a lot of dissonance for me, between me and my family members.
For about 12 years, I was suicidally depressed. And I hated myself, I hated my life, and I wanted to die.
It completely shatters someone's well-being and path to God.
I'm very lucky to have gotten out of this whole process alive.
And I could not deny that I could feel for a man in the way that I could not feel for a woman.
I know that I know that I know that I was born gay. And I know that I know that I know that the relationship that I am in now, it's a beautiful thing.
And these people who are being subjected to this message need to realize that there's nothing wrong with who they are. There's nothing wrong with being gay. There's nothing wrong with falling in love with someone of the opposite sex or with someone of the same sex. And I hope this helps.
Yes, I actually have. One of my best friends is homosexual and came out of the gay lifestyle, actually. We're good friends, and he knows exactly what I'm doing, but he never really penetrates exactly what I'm doing. We have drinks together, and we talk about opera.